Hello everyone. In this short video, we're going to discuss with you about 4 questions. Small questions related to how to answer for the AP Computer Science test. So let's start with a very basic recursive calls. The question is described as follows. Number 10, when will method what is it cause a stack overflow equals computer memory to be exhausted? Okay, so first we know that this is a public method and it's a static method, means that throughout the whole programs, the method is always occupy part of the memory of the program when the program is executed, and it returns with the integer. So what is it work? First, it has 2 input. The first input is the integer called x, and the second input is the integer called y. Now, within the blocks of execution procedures, first it compares x and y. So if x is greater than y, then we return x times y. Else, we return what is it with the parameter x minus 1 and y. So let's see, what will be the question when the stack overflow happens? Usually if the stack overflow happens, which means that there is an uncontrollable recursive call. So basically that means in the first block, if x is greater than y, we return x star times y, and then will not cause the stack overflow. That means only when the rest of the case, it might cause the stack overflow. Why is that? For example, if x is equals to y, then we might continue calling x minus 1 y, and since x minus 1 is less than y, so when we recursively call what is it of x minus 1 y, it will recursively call what is it of x minus 2 y, and so on. And there is no bound for the values of x when we call this method. That means the answer B is the case. Only when x which is less than equals to y, the method will cause a stack overflow. Okay, so basically this is very simple. You just have to observe the content of the code very carefully. And let's see, question 11. It's just like simplifications of some logical expression. So here is a Boolean expression. AI, that I is the index, so it's an array A with index I is either equals to the maximum value where we use max, or the results of the following expression is reversed. That is AI is not equal to max, then reverse. So can we simplify this to something else? Basically, you can assume that, okay, for example, if AI is equals to 100 and the maxima is 100, then for the first part of the OR expression, then that first part is true. What will be the second part? That means 100. If 100 is not equals to 100, then that's false. But then there is a not adjective outside of the braces of this max not equals to a of I, then which means that is also true. So when AI is equals to max, from both sides of this OR, the expression, the logic expression from both sides of the OR are the same, which means for this Boolean expression, we can basically just simplify it to the following formula, that is AI is equals to max. So the answer is A. Let's see, the question 12 is a very basic mathematics calculation. Just conversions of the hexadecimal expression numbers. So here's the description of question 12. Suppose the characters 0, 1, 2, 3 until 8, 9 excuse me, and followed by A, B, C, D, E, F are used to represent a hexadecimal base 16 number. Here we say A is equals to 10, B is equals to 11, and so on until F is equals to 15, because the hexadecimal number is for base 16, so which means that we have to find the representations between 0 to 15, because it's under modulo 16. Now, what is the largest base 10 integer that can be represented with a 2-digit hexadecimal number, such as 14 or 3a? If it's a 2-digit hexadecimal number, then which means that we know that for each digit, the largest one should be f, right? So if there are 2 digits number represented in base 16, then it should be FF, because that's the largest one among its own digit in each digit individually. So if on the second digit is F, then it should times the base 16, because it's on the second digit, so which means we should multiply 15, that is the second F, times 16 plus the first F, which is 15. So the result should be 16 times 50, 15 plus 15, that is 240 plus 15, that will be 255. So the answer should be C. Now let's see the last question. Now consider a cloud class that has a default constructor. Suppose a list, which is called ArrayList, of type cloud list is initialized. And which of the following will not cause an index out of bound exception to be thrown? Let's see A, B, C, D, all those choices. So this is a test of our concept for the array list. Now let's see what will happen for the A choice. It's a for loop which runs through index I starting from 0 to index I when it appears to set about the list data size. And every time we increase index I plus 1, and we use the list data set of I and with a new cloud, which means that this looks like initialization. Okay, so if the index I will touch the list data size, then basically there will be some problem, because the index starting with 0, and it should end with the list data size minus 1. So if we want to execute the list data set with index I specified for the first parameter, there'll be a problem. So which means that there will be an index out of bound exception to be thrown. So A is not a choice. Let's see B. If we execute list that add of list data size and with additional new cloud constructor, will there be any index out of bound exception to be thrown? Actually not, because if the list is an array list and it can grow, if we add an additional new element to the end of this array list, and the new element has been initialized, then there will be no problem. So B is the right choice. Let's see what happens to the rest of 3 choices. In the choice C, cloud C is equals to list that get of list that size. But from the description of this question, we know that the array list of a cloud is just initialized. So if we don't execute the description like the choice in B, then if we want to get the element of list data size, it will happen like what happens in the last step of the for loop of the option A. So which means that there will be a index out-of-bound exception to be thrown. What happens to the choice D? Again, if we cannot get it, we cannot remove it. So, which means that this is also an index out-of-bound exception. What happens to the last choice? If we specify the index with -1, then there's no, because index starts with 0. That is why. Okay, thanks for listening. Hopefully we can have a good choices with discussion with you.